set off, I think it's over 12 hours ago now. We got completely lost about an hour ago, entirely since the last time I spoke to you. Hi guys, this is super different for me, but it's very, very exciting. I'm actually in Morocco with Mazda, and we are embarking on an epic drive, and it's epic in every single way. It's going to be epic in time. We're going to be doing at least 8 hours of driving a day, at least, and that's with no stop. We've done 9 hours of driving and we've got 2 hours to go. Epic scenery, and we're going to places that no tourists get to go, and we're testing out the Mazda CX-60, the diesel, because this is the absolute tool for this kind of journey. So in today's video, I'll be honest, you join me at the start of a journey and I have no idea what I'm going to be documenting. I'm going to show you our journey across the Atlas Mountains to some of the really exciting places in Morocco that maybe you've not got to see before, and I'll show you a few highlights of the CX-60 whilst I'm here. So if that sounds good, then please keep watching, and if you like new car reviews and car content, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And also, if you like videos like this, don't ask for them again because they're really, really hard work and I'd rather not do them. But I hope you enjoy it for this one-off, and yeah. Next time I check in, I'm going to show you a bit of the carnage leaving Marrakesh. On day one, the route sees us departing Marrakesh and follows the R203 over the Atlas Mountains. This is considered to be one of the more challenging roads in Morocco due to its width, height and lack of barriers in many places. However, it has a very low traffic density and is an exceptional driving road. So we've been driving for about an hour just outside of Marrakesh, and we've just stopped off. First time to stretch our legs and just take in a bit of the scenery. It's about 21 degrees at this point, so it's lovely. If it could stay like this, it'd be nice. I think it's going to get a lot hotter though, and we've just found like a lake or a loch just outside of an hour outside of Marrakesh. As you can see, the roads are now starting to get a bit rougher. So one of the main reasons why the roads are getting a lot rougher is because last year there was a earthquake, you may have seen on the news, in Morocco, and it did actually destroy quite a lot outside of Marrakesh, caused a lot of the roads to become quite hard to be able to drive on. But of course, that's why we do have the four-wheel drive Mazda CX-60. And this car, I mean, if you're ever going to have a car which can handle roads like this and still be comfortable to drive, then this is the one for the job. It's definitely the right car. But we're going to jump back in now, continue on our journey a little bit further. And yes, I think next we'll be going right up into the mountains, and it's basically just going to become more and more deserted as we go. As I mentioned, the roads are a little bit precarious at this point due to the earthquake, which did bring down a lot of rubble. I mean, they may have been like that before, but I think it's something that's made a lot worse by the earthquake. So we're just taking it slow at the moment. It's a bit of a bumpy journey. I don't know how long it's going to stay like this for. It could be like this for quite a lot of the journey, so we'll have to wait and see. We've just passed the 2-hour waypoint, so we've gone past our first waypoint, and our next waypoint is in just over 5 hours. So this is my very accomplished co-pilot, Gareth, for today. Is paired with me, and I didn't explain at the start, but this journey is 8 hours at best, 12 hours at worst. We try to set off nice and early, get a good start. I think we're probably about middle of the pack of the drivers that are here. Gareth's been driving for about 2 hours, and then we're going to swap over, and that's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it in 2-hour stints. We have been quite shocked. Luckily, we've got a little bit of smoother road now to enjoy, but we've had some really, really bumpy roads. It's very potholed, and we was expecting that, but a lot of the roads are barely paved. They are just like going off-road, which has been interesting. So far we're having a pretty good time. I'd love to give you the context of where we are, but we don't really know. We're somewhere within the Atlas Mountains, and possibly we're going to be somewhere within the Atlas Mountains for the next 6 hours, or probably even more than that. We are doing, now we both keep forgetting how this is actually pronounced. Do we just, Tizen test? Tizen test? Yeah, that sounds right, doesn't it? This road is called the Tizen test, and it going through the Atlas Mountains. Which is very well known for being very zigzaggy. So yeah, it's very exciting. I'm going to do a bit of driving next, and I'll check back in possibly when either we find somewhere very picturesque to pull over, or when I've finished my 2-hour stint. So we've been on the road for just over 3 hours now. I've been driving for an hour, Gareth for 2, and we've just stopped off at a coffee stop which has been planned by Mazda, and look how incredible this is. Now at some point during this journey, either today or tomorrow, we're doing the highest road in the whole of Morocco. Now this to me is pretty high. I can't see much that is much higher, but apparently it's possible that it could be tomorrow we're doing that. But how incredible is this? Look at the road all the way down. We actually, on the way down to this coffee stop, we was following a bus full of people with like everyone sitting on top of the bus. Yeah, it's been pretty incredible so far. Luckily, the terrible roads actually let off, and now they've been much smoother, and they've actually been tarmacked, so I don't know how long that's going to last for. The cars are coping really, really well. Like I said, they are quite possibly the best cars for this job, because you'd think if you had a car like a Jeep or a Land Rover, they're going to be fantastic, but then you don't have the comfort, and these are just so comfortable as well. Obviously the negatives are the tyres, and I can't remember, I didn't tell you at the start, but we're actually carrying a few supplies, so I'll show you them now. So inside our cars, we've got a few things in here. So in the front we have got, in this centre console, we've got a walkie-talkie, some sweets. We've also got Wi-Fi dongle in there as well, loads of phone connectivity. And then in the back of the car, we have got a cool box with our food, our water, and things like that in it. And then in the back of the car, God, look at this, the dust on the back of the cars. And then in the back of the cars, we're actually carrying a spare tyre as well. So that goes to show that it really is kind of, we're on our own in this trip. Don't get me wrong, there are people from Mazda at every step of the way, but that doesn't always mean that somebody's going to be within quick distance, and also there's not that many support cars, so we're having to carry all of our own tyres just in case, and just prepare for every eventuality. Right, I'm going to have a coffee and then we're going to get on the road. So Gareth, how are you feeling after 3 hours?
I'm pretty fresh actually, it's been good. We've covered some pretty rough roads, but generally it's been good fun. And up here the views are just amazing. So
yeah, they said that, so I obviously just said in the video that this might not be the highest, but they reckon it could be the highest. Or we're doing a little bit of like off-road, which is slightly concerning, tomorrow, which could be even higher, but yeah, we're pretty high up here. So we've been off of the mountain road for about 40 minutes, I'd say, half an hour, 40 minutes. We're hoping to God that we're going in the right direction. We're currently on the N10, and we're going to be on this road for a while. We've just gone through quite a busy Moroccan town, full of people, motorcycles, so we've really had to have our wits about us and weave in and out of the traffic. The one thing about the CX-60 is it's a very big car, and the roads here are not all that wide, and on the side it's pretty rough, so we're having to be very careful when driving to not miss cars on the other side of the road, but also not hit our tyres on the inside. But this has actually been a lovely smooth bit of tarmac for a while, so very much a change from the mountain roads. Whoa! Thatcher on the other side of the road. Well, it was all running just a little bit too smoothly. We've hit the side of the road. I wasn't driving. But yeah, it's so easily done. I nearly did it earlier, but we've hit the side of the road and we've burst a tyre. Now the problem is we're carrying tyres, but we're not carrying jacks. So we've had to literally flag people down and see if they'll help us change the tyre. Luckily, we weren't at the back, so these guys were just behind us. So they've obviously been able to help us out. And also, luckily, it's not too roasting hot. It's about, it feels about 25, so it's not unbearable. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't be too long until we can be back on the road. It's by some miracle that we burst a tyre within civilization instead of the middle of nowhere. So we were able to talk to some of the Moroccan locals and they happily helped out with a larger jack. We did try flagging down at a Dacia Duster, but it just wouldn't cut it for the size of the wheels on the Mazda CX-60. You have to get the car quite high off of the ground to be able to fit the wheels underneath. And it turns out that we weren't the only people having tyre trouble. It turns out 8 of the 9 cars that took part in the Mazda EPIC Drive all burst a tyre on the first day, which didn't bode very well for the second because all of our spare tyres had now been used up. We're back on the road. In the end, we were only off the road for about 30 minutes. It was very hairy for a moment where me and Gareth looked at each other thinking, what on earth are we actually going to do? Because we've got the Wi-Fi that's in the centre console, but the Wi-Fi wasn't working, neither of our phones are working. We've got a walkie-talkie, but no idea of any channels that walkie-talkie is supposed to be on. So it was, for a moment, we didn't think we were going to be getting out there for a while, and then luckily some of the Mazda team were behind us and they were able to flag somebody down, borrow their jack, or actually we ended up asking some people local to help us out, give us a jack and put a tyre on, and then 30 minutes later we're back on the road, so that's not too bad. We are currently in the middle of a very desert area. It's very barren around here, and we're watching a battle at the moment between the fastest camper van you've ever seen in your life and a 4x4 who will not let this camper van pass. So we're taking things a little bit easy, sitting a little bit back just in case their egos get a bit too big for each other, and avoiding any nasty ruts in the road from now on. Our next ETA, so our next waypoint, is in an hour, so it's not too bad. And then from that waypoint, I don't really know how far it is until the hotel, but I think it's a good another few hours. I think a couple of hours, if not 3. So we're not doing too bad on time. We thought we were way behind, and we're going to get a chance to see the edge of the Sahara Desert, and there is an opportunity to cut that out. But we're sort of like 2 hours ahead of the last car, so we thought we'll do it, and we might as well get to see everything we've come here to see. So yes, so we're also hoping that we'll know when we see the Sahara Desert, because neither of us really know how to tell that it is the Sahara Desert. I guess it will just get extremely sandy, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, that will be our cue. but I'll check back in next time something interesting happens. So, bit of an update. I don't know if you can see over here, the 4x4 and the camper van have actually pulled over. So we pulled over earlier so that I could go to the loo and so that me and Gareth could swap, and the camper van is now stopped and they're looking at their vehicles. So we reckon on this massive straight they've gone to do an overtake and they've bumped them. We knew that was going to happen. We were purposely holding back because we knew it was going to happen. Anyway, less about that drama, and let me show you where we are right now, because this is pretty incredible. This will probably be the last stretch of our legs for today. We've done 9 hours of driving and we've got 2 hours to go. Of course, about half an hour of that was pulled over to sort out the wheel. But yeah, we're actually not doing too bad. But I reckon the end of today we're going to be exhausted. But we've got to push, we've got those last 2 hours, and then we'll be at our last destination, which I haven't even told you yet. It's called the Eco Lodge. And I'm going to leave it at that and I'll show you when we get there. You join me on a very, very bumpy last part of the journey. We set off, I think it's over 12 hours ago now. We got completely lost about an hour ago, entirely since the last time I spoke to you. Lost, didn't know where to go, managed to find the tiniest bit of internet to be able to get us back on the route, and now we're finally on the last rocky path to get to where we're staying tonight. It has been a very, very long day. Day 2 is underway. There was a big decision to be made at the beginning of today, and that is there is 2 routes. One is 12 hours to continue from our 12 hours that we drove yesterday, and the second is a shorter 4-hour route which is direct to the hotel. Now you would think surely you're not going to do another 12-hour day, but the issue is if you miss out the 12-hour day you also miss out one of the best roads on this trip, including basically a zigzag route down a gorge. And I was not going to deprive Gareth of being able to drive that journey, so we're going to do it. We've not decided yet whether we're going to turn around, come back the way we've come, around 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and then drive on to our final destination, because that could cut out around 2 to 3 hours off of the 12 hours. So those are some decisions we're going to make at the coffee stop. But the next time you see a little bit of footage, will be when we're doing this mountain road, twisting down the mountain. And also we're currently in my favourite place that we've seen so far on this journey, so I'm sure I've just inputted some of that footage this morning. This is absolutely beautiful, and if you're thinking of coming to Morocco, for me this could be a pretty important, incredible place to be able to visit, which has that mix of having a bit more a bit more going on, but more authentic Moroccan life. How beautiful is this restaurant? So this is in the town that I said, if you are thinking of visiting Morocco and you want to go somewhere a little bit different to Marrakesh, then I highly recommend this town. So this is about half an hour off of the road that we've just done. So we did the amazing roads, amazing driving roads. Absolutely loved them. We're so glad we did it, but we didn't continue the 12-hour drive. We turned back around, we've come back down, we've got some Wi-Fi to get our maps going, and yeah, we're going to return to Marrakesh from here. So it's about 5 hours, which cuts out about 2-3 hours. So honestly, I think that's the best thing to do. It maybe isn't as nice of a drive the other side, but we're pleased with that. We should get back to the hotel. Should. That is a key word here. We should get back about 6 p.m. So yeah, I'm probably not going to update much more now because I'm getting a little bit exhausted, and the route back to Marrakesh is just, it's a little bit more boring. So yeah, I will hopefully catch you when I'm back at the Sofitel in Marrakesh. So as it turns out, I was very wrong about the journey back to Marrakesh being boring. Every journey you take in Morocco includes breathtaking views and untouched culture. However, taking the shorter route back may not have been the one that Mazda had planned for us, but getting back before dinner left us able to appreciate just how incredible this opportunity had been. I want to take some time to thank Mazda for including me in their EPIC Drive event. Of course, it's my job to promote the game-changing CX-60, but the car entirely promoted itself, keeping us cocooned in a comfortable and serene environment, whilst taking the worst roads in its stride. The 3.3 litre straight 6 diesel and all-wheel drive made lightweight of climbing mountains and crossing deserts. Of course, lastly, I have to thank you, my viewers and subscribers, because without you, I wouldn't be able to call this my job. I'll be forever grateful.